People who got stood up. Why did your date leave? I was on a first date with this girl I met online, and everything was great until I told her about my job. I was a server at a small cafe, and when she found out, her entire vibe shifted. She kind of rolled her eyes and sarcastically said, "Oh, so you're not really ambitious." I laughed it off, thinking she was joking. But then not even a minute later, she started scrolling on her phone. A few minutes later, she said she had to use the restroom and never came back. I sat there feeling like a complete idiot, and the bartender must have noticed because he walked over and said, "Tough night?" I just nodded and said, "Yeah." I told her I was a waiter and she judged me for it. He laughed and said, "Man, if that's her deal breaker, you dodged a bullet." He poured me a drink on the house and spent the next half hour just chatting with me about random stuff. It wasn't a pity. It was just a normal conversation with a friend. By the time I left, I felt way better. The bartender gave me a fist bump and said, "You'll find someone who cares about you, not your job." A few weeks later, I went back to that bar, and guess who I saw? The girl. She was with another guy dressed to the nines and clearly trying to show off. The bartender saw me and gave me a little grin. He leaned over and said, "I got you," before heading to their table. I don't know what he said, but she looked mortified and stormed out. Her date just sat there, totally confused. The bartender came back and winked at me. People who got stood up. Why did your date leave? I was on a first date with this girl I met